Good day. I am Professor Wilhelm. Psychology is a fascinating field that studies the human mind and behavior. With roots dating back to ancient Greece, psychology has developed into a modern scientific discipline with real-world applications. From unlocking the secrets of the unconscious mind to understanding what motivates our decisions, psychology provides insights that can help improve mental health, relationships, education, and more. In this video, we will explore 10 interesting facts about key concepts, famous studies, and influential figures in psychology. The human brain is exceptionally complex, containing approximately 86 billion neurons. To put this in perspective, there are more connections in a single human brain than there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy. The brain's neurons communicate through electrical and chemical signals, forming circuits and networks that process sensory input, regulate bodily functions, generate thoughts and enable behaviors. Different regions of the brain are associated with specific functions, yet they work in tandem to produce our perceptions, memories, emotions and actions. While many people think of Freud when they hear the word psychology, the father of modern psychology is usually considered to be Wilhelm Wundt. Wundt established the first formal laboratory for psychological research at the University of Leipzig in Germany in 1879. This marked psychology's transition from a philosophical inquiry into a field of empirical science based on experimentation and objective measurement of phenomena like reaction times and sensory thresholds. The Gestalt school of psychology emphasized that the whole of anything is greater than its parts. According to Gestalt psychology principles, the human mind perceives objects as whole structures rather than breaking them down into individual component pieces. This school of thought was proposed by German psychologists Max Wertheimer, Wolfgang Kohler and Kurt Koffka in the early 1900s as a rejection of the structuralist notion that the mind associates a group of sensations and uses them to build meaningful perceptions. In 1951, Solomon Asch conducted a famous conformity experiment to demonstrate the power of group pressure on individual decision-making. Participants were asked to look at lines of different lengths and say which ones matched. When placed amongst Confederates giving the wrong answer, over 75% of real participants went along with the group at least once, despite the obviously incorrect choice. Asch's findings revealed people will conform to a group even when answers are clearly absurd, highlighting the extremes of conformity some will endure to avoid social rejection. The Stanford Prison Experiment conducted by Philip Zimbardo in 1971 aimed to study the psychological effects of becoming a prisoner or prison guard. The experiment was cut short after 6 days as participants embraced their randomly assigned roles, with guards displaying cruelty and prisoners becoming submissive and depressed. While intended to confirm situational attribution of behavior, the experiment faced heavy criticism for ethical violations. It exemplified how social roles and environments can push people towards conformity and abuse of power. The famous Bobo Doll experiment conducted by Albert Bandura in 1961 demonstrated that children learn behaviors through observation and mimicking. Bandura had children watch a video of an adult interacting aggressively with a Bobo doll. The children exposed to the violent model were then more likely to display aggressive actions towards the doll themselves. This supported Bandura's social learning theory that people can learn new information and behaviors by observing others. Abraham Maslow created the hierarchy of needs model in 1943. This ranks human needs from most basic, like food and shelter, through safety, belongingness, esteem to the highest level of self-actualization. According to Maslow, lower-level needs must be met first before higher needs can be fulfilled. This concept remains popular in psychology, management and education as it provides a framework for human motivation and a theory of developmental stages. In 1921, Hermann Rorschach created the Rorschach inkblot test. The test asks subjects to look at ambiguous inkblot shapes and describe what they see. The responses aim to gain insights into emotional functioning, thought disorders or underlying personality. While controversial, the Rorschach test remains one of the most widely used psychological assessment tools today. Proponents believe it reveals the inner workings of the unconscious mind through creative perception. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is a popular modern form of psychotherapy developed in the 1960s by Aaron Beck. CBT focuses on challenging and changing cognitive distortions like negative thinking patterns to improve mood and behaviors. As a brief, goal-oriented treatment, CBT helps patients modify dysfunctional thoughts, emotions and actions through tools like journaling, role-playing and mindfulness exercises. Research shows CBT is effective for mood, anxiety, personality, eating and addiction disorders. The famous Marshmallow Test, conducted by Walter Mischel throughout the 1960s and 1970s, looked at self-control and delayed gratification in children. Children were given one treat, such as a marshmallow, and told if they could wait 15 minutes without eating it, they would receive a second treat. Follow-up studies found those able to delay gratification were more successful later in life academically, socially, and professionally. This highlighted the importance of self-control for long-term well-being and achievement. From the inner workings of the brain to our social relationships, psychology seeks to understand what makes us tick. This brief overview provides a glimpse into some key moments and findings that have shaped our understanding of the human psyche. Psychology will continue evolving as technology opens new ways to study the brain, behavior and mental processes. One thing remains constant: psychology illuminates the human experience, helping us understand ourselves and others more deeply. By learning important concepts and theories, we gain wisdom that can positively impact our lives.